So what I thought I'd do in terms of the nutrition was just read something. I co-wrote a book called The Wait Is Over, and with a person who helped me lose 25 pounds. This memoir is her testimony, not just in terms of weight loss, but just as a Christian woman going through some like depression and so forth. It's called The Wait Is Over, My Journey Toward Faith, Fitness, and Freedom, okay? We develop like hypothetical case examples, right? Instead of saying, don't eat this, don't eat that, let's give you a story. This is the story of the Cookie Monster. So here's the story. Chris is a pastor of a large church. He has a serious sweet tooth and a particular weakness for chocolate chip cookies. In an effort to improve customer service, his office assistant often puts homemade cookies or bite-sized candies at the reception desk. We all deal with that sometimes at work. Pastor Chris almost always takes something off the desk on his way out the door to his car. To make matters worse, whenever there are church celebrations that involve food, everyone makes sure to save the pastor and his wife a big slice of cake. That brings me back to those days, right? That's the pastors. It's not uncommon to see the pastor sitting down to prepare a sermon and munching on one of the many treats he has at his disposal. Because he's always traveling, teaching, and counseling and managing the staff, he rarely has time to use a gym membership. But here's this example gives us a glimpse into a common practice in our society. For whatever reason, we have embraced sweets as the perfect gifts. Think about that. When showing acts of kindness with food, people naturally want to offer sugar. This tradition, in our opinion, is actually hurting us because high consumption of these treats elevates our sugar levels. So why is that horrible? For me, the reason why I gained 25 pounds years ago was because I thought it was because I was eating fried foods and my cholesterol jumped because of that. It wasn't. They said it's the sugar. Your triglyceride count is impacted by your sugar. And so what happens, what a lot of people don't understand, when we eat foods that have high sugar, our blood sugar rises. That food is broken down into glucose so that the blood can now distribute it and transport it throughout the body. But what happens when there's too much? So your insulin helps to bring sugar levels down. And when you have overactive insulin, and you have to keep calling on that insulin to put that sugar down, it becomes less effective. That's where diabetes sometimes come in. I'm not talking about people who inherited it through the family, but people through the bad lifestyle choices. When your insulin no longer can function the way it's supposed to at a high level, that's where you have to take it, all right? So we wanna make sure that sugar levels are kept down. And let me just add there, sugar is one of the most addictive substances there is. So we end up going to sugar when we're stressed. We end up going to sugar when we need to feel good. I've had some addiction issues in my life that I had to come to terms with. And one of the things that they told us is to halt, H-A-L-T. Figure out if you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. And those are the times where you're most susceptible to reach for something to self-medicate. And for some people, they're self-medicating with food.